everyone, and welcome back to another video that I hope helps you out with your GED. Today we're going to be talking about integers. So I think over here, it could be over there. I'm not too sure. But what are integers? I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing negative numbers. Okay? Because when you're introduced to integers, you are introduced to negative numbers. Okay? So what are integers? What are they? The best way to think about it is with a number line. I need to go ahead and insert a picture here, so give me 1 second. Integers. So a nice number line. That is what is going to help us out. The best way to think about it, it is both positive, negative, and zero. All of those numbers. They're the whole numbers, but they also include negative whole numbers, if that makes sense. That's a great way to summarize it. But it's all about the distance from zero, okay? It's a very interesting set of numbers because it's just the sign changes. Once you go past, always think of negative numbers. Negative integers are on the left side of zero. Positive integers are on the right side of zero. Why is this important? Because it really shows more of location or direction, okay? That negative sign is really important when you can describe different directions of things. That's why we need it. But how do we go about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing these negative numbers? Well, that's a lot to chew off at once. So at first, let's just talk about adding negative numbers. So let's do a few examples together. I think that's going to be the best way for us to handle this. So we'll go down to size 20. So let's look at let's just make some up. Let's go with negative 6 plus a negative negative 5. What would something like that equal? Okay. So look at both of the numbers are negative, right? So you're moving to the left 6, and then you're moving to the left another 5, okay? So think it's just the same thing as your regular addition. With regular addition, though, everything is positive, right? So you're moving to the right 6, and then you're moving to the right 5, if these were positive things. In fact, I'm going to copy this. We're going to put it right above it, except for it's not going to be that big. Okay, let's go down. Oh no. There we go. Go right here. I'm going to copy it and paste it. Let's just get rid of these numbers so we can kind of see this relationship between both positive integers and both negative integers. Okay, let's change the color of this to blue. So we know these two things are totally different, but they're not actually. There's a lot of similarities. So we know, what is 6 plus 5? 6 plus 5 is 11. Because you added that 6 from that 0 point, and then you added another 5 to that 6. You moved 5 more steps. So now you're 11 steps away from 0. But what happens if it's all negative? It's just direction, okay? So instead of walking one direction 11 steps, you're going to walk that opposite direction from 0, 11 steps. So it's negative 6 steps and then a negative 5 steps, bringing you to the position of negative 11, okay? Don't worry, we got it. We'll do another example. So let's go with negative 12 plus a negative 6. Okay, so you've moved 12 steps to the left of 0. You're at negative 12. But now you're going to move an additional 12 steps to the left. Or not 12 steps, sorry. Oh, what was I thinking? You're going to be moving an additional 6 steps to the left. Remember that negative sign is to the left of 0. So what does this equal? Yes, you're right. It is negative 18. Okay? You moved 12 steps to the left of 0, and then 6 more steps to the left. Another way to think about it is like money or debt. Okay? You owe your best friend $12, and then you owe your best friend another $6. So how much money do you owe your best friend? The total amount of money that you owe them is $18. So that's $18 you don't have. You are in the hole $18. You are negative $18. Okay? I hope that helps. If it doesn't, make sure you leave a comment and I'll try to make another video or we can figure something out for you, okay? Now, let's move on to subtraction. What about subtracting with negative numbers? This is where things can get a little bit funny. So we'll start with a negative 5 minus a negative, or let's start off with just a negative 5 minus 3, okay? Now, I want you to think about this. So you are at negative 5, and I'm telling you to subtract 3, okay? Now, with that negative sign, remember it always pushes that negative or minus sign, it will push things to the left, okay? So it's all about direction still. So you're at negative 5, and then another 3 spaces to the left, because it's just that one negative sign. So you are now at a negative 8. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's look at another example. How about just negative 1? And then I'm going to subtract 1. Okay, you owe someone $1, and I'm going to come and take $1 from you. So you are in danger financially. Okay, now you are at a negative $2. You are $2 in the hole. All right. Oh, I didn't put the negative sign. Never forget your negative signs. That can be very dangerous. I hope that helps. Let's mix things up a little bit. Let's look at a negative 5 minus, what if they're both negative numbers? What if you're subtracting a negative number? This is where things get tricky. They get a little bit weird. My rule of thumb, if you see these two negative signs next to each other, they're very close, right? Those will cancel out. Two negative signs come together, they explode into a positive. A negative minus a negative is actually positive. You're actually adding in this scenario. So now, if I'm going to rewrite this as negative 5 plus 3, this you can think about just in that direction sense that I was talking about. So you moved 5 steps to the left of 0, and then you moved 3 steps back towards 0, okay? Which would be a negative 2. So this is a negative 2. You have $5 of debt, and somebody walked up and they gave you $3. So now you paid off that debt. You only owe $2 to people, okay? Let's do another example just to help out. Another one where it's that mixture of both positives and negative numbers or doubling up on negative numbers. So let's look at negative 11 minus a negative 5. Oh, excuse me. So remember, see how close they are. The negative signs are both way too close. They're going to cancel out. Oh my gosh. So the negative signs are going to cancel out, thus leaving us with a positive number. So negative 11 plus 5. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. I guess you guys are going to get a video of me sneezing a whole bunch. So you moved 11 steps to the left of 0, and then you move 5 steps back towards 0, okay? So what is that? What does that actually look like? There's relationships between all of these things. It's so fascinating. So you are now at a negative 6, okay? it's like when you go to school, I don't know, when you're younger or maybe right now or maybe when you're a little bit older, they used to have like backwards days or opposite days type of thing. When I was in school, they would pick one day every few months, and it's like, oh, instead of coming to school with normal clothes on, you can wear pajamas, right? Everything is kind of backwards or inversed. It's kind of a way to think about this scenario here. Okay, if you look at the relationship between these things, uh, what so -11 plus 5, that's the same, or it's not the same, but it looks so similar to 11 minus 5, right? It looks so similar, and you actually get 6. Do you notice how, if we were to put that, I want you to imagine if we were to put that down on a number line, it'd be perfect opposites, right? So this is kind of like the perfect opposite of this problem. Let's go ahead and highlight that. So we'll make that one green. We'll make this one blue. They are opposites of each other, or opposites. It's just, oh my, not that blue. That is way too blue. It's, oh, oh, oh no, I'm messing up. Oh, that is a gross blue. Well, it's not a gross blue, but it's just too blue. Okay, perfect. I hope that that helps with the addition and the subtraction of negative numbers. The multiplication and division is actually kind of easy. There's a simple rule. If both, so this is for multiplication of negative numbers. If both numbers have the same sign, so whether it's positive or negative, as long as if both numbers have the same sign, the answer will be positive. If the numbers have different signs, then the answer will be negative. Let's look at a little bit of a better example of this, or let's look into this a little bit more. So like -3 times a -2. Just do your regular multiplication here and then follow this rule. So -3 times a -2. What's 3 times 2? It's 6, right? Both numbers have that negative sign, so the answer has to be positive. Okay? The answer has to be positive. How about this one? Let's look at the same thing, but -3 times a +2. Now the signs are different. If the numbers have different signs, then the answer will always be negative, okay? Now this is just when we're looking at a pair. You have one number times another number, but the answer will be -6. And we'll highlight that one blue, if I can, ever. We'll see. Okay, perfect. Let's go on a little bit more though, before we finish things off, because what if you have like a -3 times let's times that by another -3 times -2. Okay, so let's think about this. These two negative signs will cancel each other out. They both have the same sign. Thus, the answer is positive, right? That's my rule. However, so let's just finish this. Let's finish that part first. So, what is 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9. -3 times a -3, also a +9. But we have to drop down that multiplying by the -2. So now, what sign does the 9 have? It has a positive sign. What sign does the -2 have? It has a negative sign. Now it follows this rule. If the numbers have different signs, then the answer will be negative. So do your regular multiplication. 9 times 2, that equals 18, right? But the answer will always be negative if the signs are different. So your answer is negative 18. I hope this helped out. If you want a little bit more information, just let me know in the comments section and I'll try to get back to you. I appreciate everything. Thank you.